DWP Select Committee, Stephen Timms.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. I'm grateful and I'm pleased to follow the right honourable gentleman who chairs the Treasury Select Committee. Much of what he said I agree with. Cost of living rises affect everybody. The Work and Pensions Select Committee focuses on families with the lowest incomes who depend on social security, and the prospects for them at the moment are very bleak. The committee argued unanimously, cross-party, against the removal of the £20 per week uplift in universal credit last October. The government went ahead anyway, cutting the main benefit rate to the lowest real terms level for over 30 years. And actually, as a proportion of average earnings, it's lower now than when Lloyd George introduced unemployment benefit in 1911. Benefits are historically at a very low level, and no minister, we've asked, no minister is able to justify that. And since then, now, we've had this massive cost of living surge. Citizens Advice reports that a single unemployed person spent 15% of their benefit on energy bills 2 years ago. It's 25% now, and it's going to be 50% just on energy when the cap goes up again in October. Wow. How can people pay their other bills, which are also going up? National Energy Action told the Select Committee that after last month's energy price rises, 6.5 million UK households are in fuel poverty. It's a disaster for families with long-term health problems. Being cold at home makes respiratory and circulatory problems much worse. The gracious speech provided no help at all to people dependent on benefits. At the Liaison Committee, I asked the Prime Minister why the spring statement did nothing. His answer was, and I quote, "We want to support people into work wherever possible." But a large number cannot work. They have to survive as well. Surely government must now respond to the immense pressure on those families. Mike Brewer of the Resolution Foundation pointed out to our committee the obvious problem with benefits going up by 3.1%, as they did last month, when inflation is 8% and rising. He proposed revisiting uprating immediately for universal credit, as the Chancellor has confirmed he could do and as he did at the beginning of the pandemic, and then in October for those benefits needing longer, and there are some, as he's pointed out, to the House. That must surely now be done. Universal credit was raised by £20 per week before. Do it again. And I very much agree with what the Chair of the Treasury Select Committee has just said, reaffirming what he pressed the Prime Minister at the Liaison Committee about the case for an interim uprating. The Prime Minister said he was going to look at it. It's urgent. Crisis highlighted that local housing allowance rates have now been frozen for 2 years in a row. Average rents went up by 8.3% just in the last 3 months of last year. Families on the breadline face an average £372 deficit between local housing allowance and the cheapest rents in their area. In research just published, Lloyds Bank Foundation reports that 44% of universal credit recipients are having money deducted, averaging £78 a month, nearly a fifth of what single over 25s can claim. Deductions for advance repayments, old tax credit overpayments, energy or rent arrears. And the Lloyds Bank Foundation says this is, quote, driving impoverishment and further debt, particularly amongst the most vulnerable. We need major changes, Madam Deputy Speaker, especially in the 5-week wait for a first regular universal credit payment, which forces people to take out an advance. And pensioner poverty is now surging. We know that in 2019-20, 850,000 families entitled to pension credit didn't claim it. We need real vigour behind raising take-up. The department should have a take-up target for pension credit and a plan to deliver it. In 2010-11, DWP trialled automatic payments of pension credit. They should do that again. Madam Deputy Speaker, the least well-off in our society need urgent help. As Sir John Major said yesterday, people, everyone, needs to believe the state cares about them too. There's no time to lose.
Yeah.